You noticed that they were obsessed until things got intimate, until you bonded, until you softened, and then suddenly they pulled away. And why is it that actually what's happened now is that you've actually got to ask them for it? They remove it, or you'll find that it's actually done on their terms. In this video, I'm going to explain this invisible countdown clock that they have that starts ticking when you get close to a narcissist, and why actually intimacy they start to lose. Weird? I know. Watch this video. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I hope that you're all doing really well. So I wanted to talk about this countdown clock. This secret countdown clock that the narcissist has, and the one that obviously you didn't know about, and the one that starts clicking as soon as you get to know them. And in this video, I'm going to break it down, what I'm actually talking about. Intimacy is all about power and control with them. And I'm going to talk about why that is, what's going on, because I know that this topic is very interesting to many of you. And it's one that I've realized that it keeps piquing interest in those of you that are going through this right now. So I just wanted to kind of make another kind of take on this video, a follow-up video to this. So the first thing that I've thought that might be really interesting or very important to start off is talking about the illusion phase, love bombing as addiction. Now, I know that that hasn't really been discussed in this kind of context, but what I want to talk about is why narcissists are so intense right at the beginning, and why is it that all of this becomes so confusing once you're in it. A lot of the time, what you have to realize is that a narcissist has something called an attachment disorder. Now, this explains a lot of their behavior, but until you actually understand it, until you actually know why this is happening and what this actually means, then it's going to be very difficult in terms of trying to understand it going forward. They are very intense right at the beginning. They want you to bond to them. It's almost like they want to keep you trapped in this relationship without ever realizing who they are, what they are, why they're doing this. Because once you know, you're not likely to stay. So if they keep this illusion going a little bit longer, then it's going to be easy for them to be able to manipulate you, to control you, to gaslight you into submission, because that's ultimately what we are talking about here. And idealization is a performance, okay? It's not true. And this is part of the attachment disorder. I know that's quite hard for some of you to stomach, that actually this was all just a performance. It's not something called emotional availability, although it's very difficult to know whilst you're in it. But then obviously, as this whole kind of scenario plays out, only at the end of it do you realize that actually, what is this? What is going on? And you see, that's why it's so confusing and it's so hurtful. And they use something that we call in psychology called mirroring. Okay, so they will mirror your responses. The reason why this is because they don't want you to go. They don't want you to change and, you know, and see them as being different and you leave. They don't want that. So if they mirror you, you're more likely to start to accept them, start to like them, fall in love with them. But most importantly, you're more likely to start trusting them. So why this is key? Because once you start trusting them, you let your guard down. Once you start having emotions and feelings for this person, you let your guard down. When you let your guard down, you become malleable, meaning that they can gaslight you into submission. That's how they control you. That's how they manipulate all of this, because their one thing that they want is for you to never leave. So they're extra nice right at the beginning because they are mirroring you, because they are saying that, or they're trying to make you believe that you are everything that they've ever wanted. But that isn't true. You didn't meet their soul, you met their strategy. So here I want to talk about the countdown and how it begins. Emotional intimacy is exposure. the vulnerability triggers, the shame, the inadequacy, and the identity collapse. If you get too close, you will see all of this. This is something that they don't want. This is something that they are very afraid of. And they don't want you to see this. They don't want you to know. Okay, so to a narcissist, intimacy isn't bonding, it's invasion. You're getting too close. They don't want to open up to you. And once you get too close, that's when they shut down. But they don't show you that because they don't want you to go. And this is all about the attachment disorder, the attachment injury, the fear of engulfment, and the emotional regulation failure. To most of us who are healthy, intimacy is a natural thing. It's like what we do in relationships, is how we bond. But to them, they have a fear of engulfment, that you're going to know too much, you're going to want to control them, because they think that everybody thinks the same way that they do. And so this is why they suffer with emotional regulation issues. Okay, they can't do that because they're not able to see this. They don't have an open mindset. They don't see this from another angle. For them, it's all about them not being enough, not being good enough. Okay, so they don't want you to see that. So this is why sex stops. It becomes mechanical. It feels disconnected, and it turns into punishment. Because they can't regulate their emotions, what they do is they take it out on you. They detach from you. They don't want intimacy. Narcissists don't tend to want intimacy. And you're probably thinking, well, they're the ones that have cheated. They do all these. Yes, because it's mechanical. There's no emotional invest. If they're in a relationship with you, then this is a normal part of a relationship. They don't do that. They don't like it. So for them, it's not about bonding. For them, it's about control. And that's where it becomes sort of like a punishment, a mind game. This is where it becomes unnatural. And this is why sex equals emotional withdrawal. Because the closer that you get, the less powerful they feel. For them, control is connection. Desire fades once you are secured. Can you see how this basically, a relationship with a narcissist works backwards? So it's all intense. That's the best you're going to get. You get hooked. And then you want more, you want this to continue, but a narcissist detaches. So this is where you're working on two different tangents, two different motivations to stay in the relationship. And that's why it feels awful, and you can't understand it, because this is about attachment disorder. What happens when they start devaluating you? So the clock is ticking. Now that we're on the devaluation stage, you get the subtle emotional distancing, irritability, dismissiveness, silent treatment. They don't want you. So this is triggering your trauma bond to them. The moment you start loving them emotionally, they start resenting you subconsciously, and you can see it in their behavior. So for you, it triggers your rejection wounds, your abandonment wounds. Again, you're trying to fix this, you're trying to make this better, but there is nothing that you can do. It's because of the way that they are hardwired and because of their attachment issues. That's why it could never feel something more. That's why it could never continue to get to another stage in this relationship. So the real reason why they lose interest. Once you see behind the mask, you are no longer a fantasy supplied to them. You become emotional labor. And for them, a narcissist wants easy. They want surface level. They don't lose interest because you're unlovable. It's because they lose interest because things become real. There's emotions involved. Not on their side, because they detach, they push away that. They don't want to feel that. But for you, you're wanting more. You're wanting intimacy. You're wanting more connection, but they can't give you that. Please do like and subscribe if you are enjoying this video so far. Think about it. When did the relationship shift? And what did you start doing at that time? What did you do? Think about it. What did you do at that time when this happened? Please know that I do offer one-to-one consultations. Please see the description box below for more details. And I do offer a mentorship as well. Please see the description box for more details. So my friends, I really hope this video has helped. I know it's not an easy one, but I hope that it has helped, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.